they decided to take a drink and drive. Me personally, I don't drink alcohol. I think it's nasty. It doesn't taste good to me. But if people are going to drink, they need to do it responsibly. And most definitely, if you're driving with a child, and I'm assuming that's your child,
Yes.
driving with a child in a vehicle, having had alcohol is a big no-no. And I know people think, oh, 3-year-old won't remember. They usually end up remembering. They may not remember who, what, when, but they do remember that they were in an accident.
Enjoy the video. Hit the like button.
State of Texas versus Amisa Brent. Brent, could I have the parties announced to the record for the state?
Brittany Scott.
For the defense?
George Sharman.
And are you Miss Brent?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And this cause number defense, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I have, Judge.
The court will find that the state is in compliance with this. Just 1 second. Now I will tell you the application in this case has disappeared. Just 1 second. All right, in this class, I'm going to show you what's entitled Application for Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, I did.
Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, that we're proceeding on the lesser included of the Class B DWI first.
Any objection?
No objection.
In cause number 2000, each of the cause numbers, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them? And did you sign them in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did.
All right, in cause number 2022 CR 6849W, you're charged by information with the offense of endangerment of a child. The range of punishment for that is anywhere from anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
And in cause number 2021 CR 10420, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated as Class B misdemeanor. The range of punishment for that offense is up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, I do.
Each of the cause numbers, after reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty in 2021 CR 10420. The court will defer finding of guilt. And cause number 2022 CR 6879W as you applied for deferred adjudication. And I see here that on the document sheet, it says the deferred adjudication for the Class C DWI, but she's not applying for deferred for that. Is that
Can't
correct?
get it.
No, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking what is on this document sheet.
Right. We're not applying for that.
All right, thank you. All right, are you both ready to proceed with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, there are a few things, but my client is in the military. This was a very difficult choice for her to make. I know you saw that there was an accident in this case. I wanted you to understand that the lady that she hit in the accident, it was nighttime. She had her lights off and she was stopped in the middle of the freeway. So because of that, we've had to face the music field. This is going to affect her military career, but she's very sincere and accepting responsibility. Hopes that you will follow this plea bargaining agreement and run these concurrently so that for whatever is remaining of her career, that she's going to carry it out.
All right, so I understand that, a person may be stopped in the middle of the highway or the middle of the road. This is San Antonio. As I told people before, pedestrians will run across the freeway, walk on the freeway. I don't know why. I've only seen that happen in San Antonio, but for some reason, people will do that. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, that you were driving intoxicated with a 3-year-old in the car, and that an accident occurred, and that the 3-year-old could have been killed. What I've learned from being a judge and a defense attorney and also a prosecutor is that usually when people drive intoxicated, and I always tell people my statistics professor would not approve of this study that I've done because I haven't done a real study, but it's just what I've seen is that the persons who usually walk away from accidents are the person who's intoxicated. The person who usually gets killed is the passenger, or it's either the person that they hit. So this could have turned out worse than what it is. The 3-year-old could be dead because somebody decided to take a drink and drive. Me personally, I don't drink alcohol. I think it's nasty. It doesn't taste good to me. But if people are going to drink, they need to do it responsibly. And most definitely, if you're driving with a child, and I'm assuming that's your child,
Yes, ma'am.
driving with a child in a vehicle, having had alcohol is a big no-no. And I know people think, 3-year-old won't remember. They usually end up remembering. They may not remember who, what, when, but they do remember that they were in an accident. You understand? So what have you been doing to rectify this situation as far as your drinking issues?
I've been in behavioral health, been diagnosed, been taking therapy outside of the military to help better help. And I minimize only wine in the home versus going in the woods.
So what are you planning on doing with your career? I know people think this means that your military career is over, but not necessarily.
In terms of my military career, I'll have to face. I'll have to face whatever comes, but I have a good support system from my family and my fiance who will work some things out for the future so I can still get this.
So does she have any criminal history?
No, but I do have one comment to make, if I may, Judge.
We all can make comments. We're here.
Okay.
I'm trying to do what I
If
feel
she's
is
able
best.
to keep her position in the military, she is required on duty to carry a sidearm. And I know that you're going to admonish her about firearms as a result of this, even though it's a deferred adjudication during her probationary.
I'm not admonishing about firearms under deferred adjudication. I don't see why she wouldn't be allowed to have a firearm if she's on base, but outside of base, absolutely not. I don't know if the state, you're not going to have any objections to that, are you?
No.
So that's not an issue.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right. So with regards to the DWI, and this is just me putting that out there, she doesn't have any criminal history to fear. At least that's what I'm being told. How do I say this? Is there a reason? I don't understand the deferred adjudication for the felony and the conviction for the misdemeanor. And does the conviction for the misdemeanor negatively impact her military service as opposed to the felony case? And mind you, I take DWIs very seriously, but as a person who's looking at cases objectively, these are my thoughts. So I'm wondering, what is the purpose or reason to give her a conviction on the misdemeanor case? These are just questions that I have. Because honestly, there are some people that should have a conviction on their record. There are some people who maybe should not have a conviction on their record, but I'm being told she's military. I'm assuming, and if I'm wrong, someone please correct me.
No,
I'm assuming this is her
correct.
first contact with the law in a negative way. Am I wrong in that?
As far as
So I'm trying to figure out why is there a conviction on the misdemeanor? And I understand that the state, I understand your negotiations that the felony has been reduced to a misdemeanor. I just, looking at it globally, is this a person that shouldn't have a conviction?
And Judge, do you want me to explain our rationale for the DWI conviction or?
Just can we have a moment?
Yes.
Judge, so our rationale was just based off of the facts of the case. In the body cam video, Miss Brent admits to it drove from Houston to San Antonio before being in the accident,
Yes.
and there is a bottle of vodka found in her purse. So because of that, that was our rationale doing the DWI conviction to hopefully prevent this from happening again. But we'll respect the court's decision if you'd like to defer.
If the court so decides.
All right. So, and I understand the state's rationale. And again, I know there are some cases that there should be convictions, but I mean, right now I have before me a person who doesn't have any other contact with law other than this. I'm well aware that usually, I don't know if it's your situation, usually when people have a DWI, this is usually like the first time they got caught, but they're still drinking. So I'm just trying to determine whether or not education. Yes.
Just may I say something?
Yes.
I guess from the state's perspective, we based our recommendation on what Brittany just said. We understand the court's concern and the court's point of view. If we would not object to her applying for deferred on the DWI, the only thing we would ask is maybe for PSI or CAP, just so that we can all be sure that there are no other concerns.
All right. And the state is well aware. I usually never do this.
That's good.
But to me, this is a unique situation and a unique case. So, Ms. Brent, I can sentence you today. And if I sentence you today, there's going to be a conviction on the DWI. But if you would like, I can consider deferred adjudication. But there would be a PSI that would be completed, and we would come back on another date for me to make the decision of whether or not to do that.
Defer to duty.
So what do you wish to do?
I'd like to do it for citizen.
So here's the thing about that, Ms. Brent, worst case scenario is that you have a conviction for the DWI after I review the report. But I want some more information because I know that the state wasn't expecting me to do this. And I do understand the state's rationale for wanting you to have a conviction. I'm sort of looking at it globally, which I know they looked at it globally because they're giving me the facts of your case. But I know that you've served in the military and that you have not had any other contact with law enforcement negatively other than this. And also, if there is some negative contact with law enforcement that I don't know about, the PSI report is going to tell us that as well. Okay? All right, so in each of the, Ms. Ferguson, could you give me a PSI date for each of these cases, please?